Hello and welcome to the Rugby World Cup 2015 final special. Today is Halloween, 31st of October 2015. Well, before we get on to the Rugby World Cup final taking place today, South Africa said goodbye to a large swath of their greatest generation of players in a victorious fashion when they defeated Argentina 24-13 in the bronze medal final yesterday. Schalkberger, Fro de Pies and Brian Habana will all be over 35 come Japan 2019, while 38-year-old Victor Matfield, who captained them, announced his retirement for the second time. All four members of a glorious few years for the Springboks in which they bestrode the world. It began with Jack White's team won the 2007 World Cup, and under his replacements Peter de Villiers, they won the 2009 Tri Nations. They beat the British and Irish Lions 2-1 in a test series in the same year. South Africa are bronze at third place. They beat Argentina, as I said, 24-13, and we don't have time to show the highlights today. We'll show them in tomorrow's show. Now, so it's 2015 final. It is the last day. We have come in such a road to get to this place. We've had such brilliant moments, tries that will never be forgotten, teams that will never be forgotten, and some performances just out of this world. Here are some rugby experts to sum up Rugby World Cup 2015 and their favourite.
My best try, wow, I mean the power of Surveyor was strong. I loved Heskett's try for Japan to beat South Africa. Imhoff against Ireland, spectacular on the inside ball off Lobbe. But as an Englishman, it probably guts me to say it, Gareth Davies' try against England in that absolute nail-bite that Wales won 28 points to 25. So many injuries. Lloyd Davis, a scrum half on the wing, the inside kick, the pick-up and the score. That was a try worthy of winning such a crucial match.
Japan, I think they may have won one game in 1991 or something before this World Cup. Then they're up against the Springboks round one, and boom, they get the win against one of the best teams in history. They were emotional. Everyone was emotional. It was a massive statement. It's just about world rugby, how the minnows have improved and they're not minnows anymore. It was also a huge encouragement to the other teams. Not quite as highly ranked, and I think that's helped have a really good World Cup.
I think the player at the time is Matt Giteau, the Australian centre. I think he, with all the sort of nonsense about him coming in from playing in France and Toulon, and we haven't picked Armitage, so Giteau comes and he's just galvanised that team. It just shows you, and he's not a big guy, and he's been playing inside centre against big players, and everyone says he's going to get blasted out of the way, and he's just been amazing. I think he's taken the whole Australian team almost by himself to a whole new level by the way they play. So I don't think it's even close. I think he's the standout player by a long way.
The fans have added to the World Cup experience just with their energy and enthusiasm for every venue they've been to. We've been lucky enough to go to places like St James Park when Tonga played against the All Blacks, and it was just like lifted the roof off the place when both of them did their traditional challenges before the game. And the best ones, I'd have to go with the Argentinians. They just bring such a life and energy to the party. They make so much noise and singing, and I was lucky enough to see them play at Wembley.
Well, hopefully the legacy will be about the growth of the game. I think there's undoubtedly, we've seen this tournament reach out to new sets of fans. I mean, I've met hundreds of fans who have been to rugby for the very first time and really enjoyed the experience. So I think it has had the ability to grow the game, both nationally and internationally as well. and clearly we want to see, you know, lots of young kids taking up the game, boys and girls, or people just getting involved in the game. And you know, you've only got to look at what happened, say, in Japan, where, you know, one game where they beat South Africa, they had, you know, 4 million people watching. Then the following week, 24 million people. So I think the game has grown, and hopefully it's getting much bigger. And also the other legacy is, I think we're seeing a real narrowing of the gap between what I call tier 2 nations and some of the big superpowers of
there you see the 2015, some rugby experts giving some brilliant moments, just looking back at them, just remembering Rugby World Cup 2015. It's been a brilliant Rugby World Cup. Hopefully Japan can even top it. It's been brilliant. Well, now we're going to go into the final, 2015. Now, so the two teams, New Zealand, Australia, they're going to be battling it out today for the Webb Ellis Cup. Here are the two teams. That was Australia, now New Zealand. So the two teams for the Rugby World Cup 2015 final. Remember, use the hashtag RWC Final. It is going to be brilliant. So, yes, the predictions, well, there has been a prediction for all the matches, but we haven't showed it to you. It's where a little dog just runs over. So, let's have a look at for the final, 2015. Here is the prediction. The dog says Australia, but in my mind it is just too close to call. It is going to be a brilliant game. Whichever team wants it the most, I think that's going to be going to them. So we will bring you much more analysis on our site, analysis of the Rugby World Cup 2015 final tomorrow, as we sum up what was a brilliant Rugby World Cup, and the winner of Rugby World Cup will have a look and see what is next. So we leave you now with a pretty in-depth 4 minutes of brilliant preview of this Rugby World Cup final. Bristol rugby coach Andy Robinson previews a mouth-watering final between Australia and New Zealand. The Wallabies and the All Blacks have a great rivalry over the years, with Australia winning the championship and New Zealand holding the Rugby World Cup. From me and all the team, enjoy the Rugby World Cup final day and Halloween. Slán agus Bannacht.
The Rugby World Cup 2015, what a series of matches it's been, and we have the best two teams in the world in the final. Number 1 against number 2. I believe this contest is too close to call, but we have the toughest two competitors in the world playing against each other. For Australia to win this World Cup will be on the back of an incredible run of matches. No other team has ever experienced the run that Australia have experienced and gone on to win a World Cup. To have beaten England, Wales, Scotland, Argentina, and then to go on to beat New Zealand, for them to achieve that will be absolutely outstanding. Some of the key areas for Australia in this game, and what will be important for them to get right, will be their ability to attack. When they beat New Zealand in the Rugby Championship to go on to win the Rugby Championship, they scored 3 tries. Australia are going to get 7 chances we expect in this game. How many of those chances are they going to be able to take? If they can take 2 or 3 of those chances, they'll certainly be in the game, because they're facing the toughest defence that's out there in New Zealand, who've only conceded 4 tries in the tournament. Another key area for Australia in this game is going to be the set piece. New Zealand pride themselves in their ability to contest the line out. They pride themselves in their scrum. But actually Australia have developed in both these areas in the last 2 years. Will this Australia scrum be able to go one more time and put Australia on the front foot? If they can do that, they'll get a foothold in this game. New Zealand contested South Africa's line-out brilliantly, but Australia are very smart in their line-out play. If they can get their maul going, as well as having a really strong scrum, they can put New Zealand on the back foot. Key battleground in this game. Everybody's been talking about Pocock, Hooper, Vardy, this Australian back row and the demolition job that they've done, their ability to slow ball down and turn ball over in the contact area. I think this is the area that New Zealand are going to really target. They're going to be smashing them off the ball, running hard in their areas, getting soft shoulders, but then clearing them out the way. And what you'll see from New Zealand in this game is a pick and go game. They're going to go right through the heart of Australia. They're going to attack their forwards, sucking them in to then be able to attack in the wider channels. Potentially looking at short sides, but also being able to get into the width where they have such dangerous runners. The key area for New Zealand is how their halfbacks play. Smith and Carter, phenomenal on the front foot, but I believe that Australia might just try and target this area and try and knock over Smith and put him under huge pressure. Genya is a smart operator. Is he going to get in the face of his opposite number and really put him under pressure? It's going to be a great battle to see who can win the contact area, who can slow down each other's ball. But I look at New Zealand, they are the best in the world in this area, and if they can get on the front foot, they're going to totally dominate Australia. The Rugby World Cup Final 2015 is too close to call. What a match it's going to be. Big game experience is going to be hugely important in this game, and New Zealand have it in spades. They got 5 players who started the last Rugby World Cup Final. The 2 centres plus the back row, phenomenal competitors. But also they have Dan Carter, McCaw and Carter playing their last games for New Zealand. What a fitting send-off it's going to be for those 2 players for New Zealand to win this game. They also have history. Can they be the first team to win back-to-back World Cups? I believe that's the spirit that New Zealand are going to be playing with as they go into this contest. What a great contest it's going to be here at Twickenham on Saturday, and I can't wait to watch it.